Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Silver Contrails and we are playing more Resonant Rise today. And actually there's some Feed the Beast news, some mod pack related news, and I want to get that out of the way before we get started here. But there's also one other thing I wanted to clear up, kind of talk about, kind of mention before all of that, which is my new channel intro. What do you guys think? I'll be using it for this series. I may change it up. I spent maybe 2 hours on it on After Effects. I have not used Adobe After Effects in roughly almost 5 years, actually, believe it or not. The first time I think I used it was in 2008 because I took a video design class, and then I totally forgot how to use it since then. So, yeah, I gave it a shot, and I just, kind of on a whim, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try something. And so I decided to make a little animated intro. So, let me know what you think about that. I might change it up, make it a little different. Try again, maybe something higher quality. We'll see. Okay, so now that's out of the way. Let's talk about mod packs. First of all, the Direwolf 20 pack is out now. I believe Direwolf has a full spot. I don't think he's got a spotlight on it, but he does have a video. If you go to Direwolf 20's channel, if you don't already watch him, you should. He's got a video where he kind of talks about the different mods and he plays the pack. He's going to be playing in single player. He also has a video that shows how to install it. So if you have any questions about installing any of these mod packs, that's a good place to start. There's another Feed the Beast pack coming out called Monster. So Feed the Beast Monster. It's going to be the replacement for Unleashed. Again, both these packs that I'm talking about, both Direwolf and Monster, they are in 1.6.4. So the same Minecraft version that Resonant Rise is in, the most updated mod pack version, because there really aren't any mods out for 1.7 in any large number. And that's because 1.7 really does break a lot of mods. It changes a lot, and mod makers need a lot of time to kind of pick up on it. And I've actually heard that a lot of mod makers are going back and pretty much redoing their whole mod, like doing it from scratch, because it's changed so much. But yeah, that's anyways the news. I'm still playing Resonant Rise, so I like this mod pack. I do enjoy it. There's another update out. I think I'm one version behind. I will need to go update soon. But this version's fine for now. And we'll go jump up. The only thing I guess I would complain about Resonant Rise is that I have to play on fast. Because if I switch over to fancy, my frames drop like crazy. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe that'll be fixed down the road. I'd love to put on Optifine, but Optifine doesn't always play nicely with things. Okay, so where we left off last time. I've done a lot of playing since then. Oh, there's a Chocobo. Check him out. Let's go say hi. This is part of Chococraft. They have Chocobos. It's a yellow Chocobo. It's part of Torojima's Chococraft. Oh, we dropped some feathers. Nice. We can use these to craft the Chocobo saddle. Oh, you can get Chocobo saddle bags. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I heard them. They speak. Apparently it makes noises like non-stop too. Or I'm hearing something. I don't know what's making noises. Must be the Chocobo. I don't think horses make that noise. Anyways. Where were we? Oh yeah, last time. What did we do last time? Oh yeah, so last time we messed with Big Reactors, a mod that allows us to make these cool reactors that take yellow radium or whatever the heck that's called. Something. And yeah, we got that all hooked up. It's outputting 132 redstone flux per tick, which is pretty nice. A steam dynamo, which is what I'm using to power stuff up there and stuff in my tree farm that I talked about last episode. Those are outputting 40, and this is 132, and it's been running off of the one piece of fuel that I put in it, and I have a lot of fuel that I could put in there, so that's pretty cool. Now what I've changed, I finally have Tesseracts. So let's talk about these guys for a minute. If you are unfamiliar with Tesseracts, this is a thermal expansion item, and it is... Oh, they're so nice. Oh, I have been missing these guys so much. I've been so limited lately because I don't have them. And it's been tricky to actually get a hold of them because they changed the recipes. And I think I talked about that in an earlier episode. What a Tesseract does is it's basically a wireless bridge between two or more Tesseracts. And so you put items or energy or fluids, any of those three, in here, and it can send them or receive them or do both. Now, the new versions of Tesseracts, in the past there were 3 different ones. There was an item Tesseract, an energy Tesseract, and a fluid Tesseract, or a liquid Tesseract, I believe it was called. Now they are there's just one type of Tesseract, and they can send everything. And you can see on the top that this one is sending energy, and it's receiving energy. Really, I can turn it to say, just send energy. And now if I look at it, it's going to send energy that it gets, and that's it. And where is it going to send that energy? Well, it's going to send it up here. We can go jump over to the quarry that I have set up. Whoop. Alright. So, the quarry, of course, takes up to a certain amount of redstone. It's not listed as redstone flux. It's listed as MJs per tick. It takes up to 100 MJs per tick. And it runs off of that energy. This guy. This guy is receiving that energy, and in fact, I have it set to send energy as well. Whoops, I'm back. My headset ran out of batteries. Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah, Tesseract. This guy is just going to receive energy, and he's on the same frequency as that other Tesseract, the main power frequency, so frequency 1. And I have it set as an open owner. This is important for servers. You can have a Tesseract be open, anyone can access it, or you can have it just for you, and then nobody else can access it but you. So it's kind of cool. It's sort of like an ender chest. It's sort of like the translocators mod, if you're more familiar with that. But this guy is just sending energy via the leadstone circuit into the quarry, and then the quarry is, of course, running. Quarries are big energy hogs, so they're sucking up. This guy's sucking up a lot of energy. So this one, as items get put in here, I am exporting certain items into the Tesseract, which is going to send them back to my base. And the items that I'm sending back, you can look in here, are Comatite cobblestone and Andesite cobblestone. And I'll show you what I'm doing with those in a minute, but I do want to look in here. A problem that I'm frequently running into is I'm getting way too many items, and they are overflowing. Like these nuggets, I really don't need, and I can just discard them. They're irrelevant. It's not worth it to keep nuggets around. They just take up a lot of space. And then all this sulfur, which I actually don't even know what you use it for. HE TNT. That's interesting. You can make HE TNT. You need sulfur, saltpeter, and TNT. Oh, you can turn it into gunpowder with charcoal dust and nighttier or saltpeter. That's interesting. Sulfuric acid. Or sulfur, some nighttier. Making gunpowder actually might not be a bad idea. So I originally was going to just go dump those. I might want to keep them. But yeah, this guy is sending items out. You can see the configuration is it's sending items. If you look at the top, it will send items. And it says it's going to receive fluid and energy. That's irrelevant. It's not getting any of those. So this one is linked to a frequency 2. And that I've named as main input, I believe. Yeah, main input. If you want to add in a frequency, all you do is you type in the number, you can name it, and then you hit the plus, and then just check a set frequency. Pretty easy, and you can have a bunch of them. Really an infinite number, as far as I can tell. So let's sleep real quick. And... alright. So this guy's importing, or taking those items that are coming out of the quarry, those 2 cobblestones, and it's putting them into the cyclic assembler. This is a thermal expansion block, and what it's doing is it's getting 9 cobblestone of any type, and it's compressing it. And it's using this recipe here, which turns 9 cobblestone of any sort into compressed cobblestone. Cobblestone as compressed, it's just 9 cobblestone. So if you want to see the recipe here, if I uncompress it, I can turn it into 9, and then I can turn it back. Boom. Easy, right? And so if I take 9 of these, so if we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have enough space. 8, 9. There we go. Now we put them into a crafting grid. We can turn them into the next step, So we get regular compressed cobblestone, and then we have double compressed cobblestone right here. So this is, each one of these is 81 cobblestone. So if I just shift click, it will craft all of that into 64 double compressed cobblestone. And I can do that with the rest of these as well. We're not done here. We can take this double compressed cobblestone and craft it, and we can get out triple compressed cobblestone. And then you might think we're done, but believe it or not, there's more we can do here. We can take these guys and craft them even further. Just do it individually this time. Into more double compressed cobblestone. Or, yeah, double compressed cobblestone. And just continue to repeat the process. Oh, screwed that one up. And finally, do one more. And then once we have double compressed, we can turn this into triple compressed cobblestone. And as you might expect, we continue from there. So we had triple compressed cobblestone before. We can turn this into quadruple compressed cobblestone. So each one of these is now 6,561 individual cobblestones. So if I uncraft that, that's how many I could get out of it. I'm going to go ahead and stash these in here. We can sort this, and I'll pull these guys out. So compressed cobblestone is extra utilities, and it allows you to octuple compress your cobblestone. Now, octuple compressed cobblestone is a lot of cobblestone. Compressed cobble. So we can see we've got 9, 81, 729. We can go all the way up to octuple, which is 43 million cobblestone. That's a lot of cobblestone, and you can see that it gets darker in each iteration until finally it's pretty much pitch black. I think I had quintuple compressed cobblestone. I don't think I ever got to sextuple when I played on my previous world. And I did a lot of this compressing and such. We'll see if we can get there this run through. I don't think so, because there isn't as much cobblestone underground. There's a lot of like other random things, I guess, like basalt and limestone and such. And the problem I'm facing is that I keep running out of space, and it's such a pain to continue to run out of space and then not have anywhere to put things and etc. It's really getting on my nerves. Trying to get as much of this stuff as I can kind of smelted up. And to deal with all these extra items, what I've decided to do is do what I did in the last world I played on, and use an ME condenser. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this stuff, it's because it's applied energistics, and I haven't talked about it yet. And we'll get to this in a minute. But this is the ME condenser, and this is part of applied energistics. It's not super crucial to anything that's going on here, but it is pretty handy. It's basically got a garbage bin, and we can turn items that we put in here into different materials. We can turn them into matter balls, which I think you can use as ammo for some long-range weapons. You can just destroy items, or you can turn them into singularities. Singularities are important if you want to make some stuff for applied energistics, and they take 256,000 items, so about 250,000 individual items. Some items don't count, as far as I know. I don't know if like snowballs count. I don't know if sticks count. A bunch of things that are kind of weird. But to make these, we have to have something to store them in, and the only thing that's large enough to store them is an item called storage cluster. So storage cluster is the largest applied energistics method of storing things, and again, we'll get to that. To make it requires a lot of things. There really is just a huge amount of materials you need to make the storage cluster. That said, I'd still very much like to have one as early as possible, because then I can sort of get rid of a lot of these items in here. In the meantime, they're in the way. But to do that, I really have to set up an auto crafting situation, and I also need to have enough enough. Where did it go? Did I move it already? I hope not, because there isn't a whole lot down there. I may have moved it already. Huh. Oh well. To do that, I'm going to need a lot of quartz. Specifically Certus quartz, which is the applied Energistics version of quartz, not the nether quartz. Although I will need some of that as well. Applied Energistics, let me give you the rundown on this, again if you're unfamiliar. This is a method of item sorting, of item storage, fill in that hole, and auto crafting. It's logistics, it's just really handy, functional stuff that makes your life 100 times easier. And I'm not sure where I'm at with this, but we need to make a basic recipe anyway, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's clear you. Okay, so the ME terminal. This allows me to see what items I have in my network. So where are my items actually being stored in here? They're actually in the ME drive in what's called a storage cell. So the ME 1K storage is what I'm using. This stores items as data, so they're stored as bytes. Each storage cell can hold up to 64 types of items. And they can hold up to a certain number of bytes of storage. So there's a 1K, there's a 4K, a 16K, a 64K, etc. They can hold different varying amounts. My mic sensitivity just skyrocketed. They can hold different amounts, and obviously, you know, the more storage space you have, the more items you can store on them, but you can still only store up to 64 different types. There's an add-on to Applied Energistics that lets you store fluids. There's also a new, some stuff in the new update that allows you to store three-dimensional areas, which is really confusing, and I haven't messed with it yet because it requires a lot of stuff, but I'm hoping to get there. It's really amazing what you can do with storage clusters, or with spatial storage. And I don't even know how you're supposed to do this. Oh, wow. Anyways, so my items are stored in here, and I've got 178 of 1024 bytes. That doesn't equate exactly into a number of items, so that's something to watch out for. And yeah, so we need to set up an auto crafting situation. These are all items that are stored in here, except for the ones that say craft. Now, if I click on these, we can get, I'm gonna look up, we need to look at this recipe real quick. We need to make a recipe for this guy. So we need one of those. We want to make an ME basic processor. So I'm going to hit begin. And I've just told my system here to make me a processor. I'm missing something. What am I missing? Oh, that's what I'm missing. We'll clear that. Okay, we're not going to make that yet. We're going to make you some nether quartz dust. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to tell it to make one. And if I look over here, I can see my pulverizer has already pulverized nether. What are you doing? Oh, there you go. Just take forever. Then my pulverizer just took some of the nether quartz I had in my storage cells and then put it into my pulverizer and pulverized it into the quartz dust. And it did that all by itself without me having to, do anything there. I didn't have to pull it out of my chest, bring it over here, put it in, wait for it to get done, pull it back out, and then bring it back over here. I didn't have to do anything. I just had to tell it, hey, go make this. And it went ahead and did it. Now this I'm actually going to do manually. This is a Mechanism Basic Factory. It's basically a way of smelting multiple items at the same time. And that is entirely the reason that I use it. It's kind of cool. You can have an auto sort on. So if you put a bunch of items in here, it will automatically sort all of them. I wonder if I tell it to do stacks, if it'll go faster. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, we need to make another one of these nether quartz. So again, it's going to put that in there. I'm going to grab it before it imports it back into the system. And then we're going to do a pattern. So this is how, and I already crafted one. So boom, I already have one crafted. So this is how you tell your system how to autocraft things. So I'm going to say, I want to put in one piece of nether quartz, and it's going to get out by some process silicon, and I'm going to encode that. So I have an encoded pattern. I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm going to say right here, processing. So now this is called an ME interface, this block up here. This block knows that if I need silicon, that if it exports nether, you just turned on, didn't you? Oh, I see. That if it takes nether quartz, dust, and it imports it and it interfaces with this factory and it puts it in here, by some process of this block, it's going to get out that silicon. And then it's going to import these are import buses. All these guys down here are going to do is they're going to suck up what's ever in this and what's ever in this. So when we come over here and say, hey, make some silicon, which we have a crafting option for now, I'm going to hit that, and it should... What's going on? Why do you not know how to make that? You get it right there. What are you doing? Let's see. Do it again. There it goes. Okay, that was weird. It is taking the nether quartz and it is going to smelt that and make the silicon. It's going to do that automatically. And then once it's made the silicon, the import bus is going to trigger, and it's already back in the system now. So we have one nether quartz in the system. Now we have two. Okay. So I want to tell it to make a basic processor. So this is a little bit more complex. It needs to craft a bunch of things, and then it's going to send it over to the basic factory, which is going to smelt the assembly, and then it's going to port it back into here, and we have a basic processor. So once again, I need another blank pattern because I want to program something else into the system. Put you there, and we want to make... our goal is to make the storage cluster automatically. So if I tell the system, hey, make this storage cluster, oop, just knocked over something on my desk. If I say make this storage cluster, I want it to go ahead and make it. But to do that, I need to tell it to make all the subcomponents. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm teaching the system to make subcomponents. And the basic subcomponent for this structure is going to be the storage cell. We need 4 sorted quartz and then redstone for that. So we need redstone. We have redstone on us, so we just need one of these, and then we just come into this pattern provider. There we go. Just say make this, and then put you here. And we've encoded a pattern that makes a storage cell. So I can plunk this guy in here, and you can see all of my other recipes are in this guy. If there aren't a recipe in here, or if there isn't a recipe in there, you can find it in here usually. So I put my recipes down in there. Depending on whether I want an interface recipe or if I want a generic crafting recipe, this is the ME molecular assembler, and it basically lets you auto craft items that are within our storage cell. So if I, all of these recipes in here, they're either because my interface knows to interface with a block and make them, or because it can just automatically craft them by combining the materials that it already has. If it needs to have certain materials, so if it knows that to make a, that to make a storage cell, we need a basic processor. If it knows how to make the basic processor, it will make that first and then make the storage cell. So that's really cool. And we can just tell it to go ahead and boop, 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 put those stuff in there. We can tell it, hey, make me a storage cell. So it's going to go ahead and do that. Awesome. So we now have the ability to auto-craft storage cells. And that is, again, the base level component of what we need. And then we've got to go ahead and teach it kind of to make the rest of the stuff as well. So we could say, hey, go ahead and make another basic processor. It's going to run through here and do all that. And we're going to get our output, and we simply repeat the process, pull these guys out. We're going to need another pattern. And now, if I look at how to make this, because I'm going to forget, we can put these storage cells like this, and then this, and then we need a piece of glass And we know that we can make a storage segment now. Because it knows how to make the processors, it knows how to make the storage cells, as long as we feed it glass and redstone, it's going to be able to craft these automatically. Boom. Eventually what you'd want is your entire inventory stored inside the Access Terminal, and everything you need to make to craft, if you need any quantity of it, you simply have it crafting in here. Now I could say, hey, I need 20 storage segments. I can just craft 20 storage segments, leave it alone, it'll do all of that for me. Depending on which machines I have hooked up to it as well. The interfaces are really nice for that. There's a lot more we can go with this. That's about all I'm going to do on camera for today. And then, yeah, I don't want to overdose on Applied Energistics, although I'm tempted to talk about it the entire time. Let's take a break, look at some other things, and maybe we'll come back to this in a later episode. Alright guys, so we're going to wrap things up here. One of the things, let me turn my sound down a little bit more before we do this. One of the things that I was doing here to get ender pearls was I set up a portal using Mistcraft to go to the end, and so I already found a stronghold and I put all the the eyes of ender into the portal. I went to the end. I did not kill the ender dragon, instead ran from it, and the mod called Hardcore Ender Expansion expands the end, and it makes it a lot more, there's a lot more to do in there basically. So if we hop over into here, we're in the end, and this is thanks to Mistcraft. We can talk about this later. This is the end, but you don't see the mainland where the dragon is and stuff. Instead, you're just going to see kind of this asteroid field, I guess you could call it. So this is kind of a typical spot where you'll kill endermen. So what I do is I use my jetpack and I just fly up until I can't see the light on my little island anymore. I just kind of float up here for a little bit. And then I just descend. Oh, nothing spawned there. Okay. Try that again. Go up here. Usually spawn in there pretty quickly. Maybe I'm too high, I'm not sure. Okay, let's descend again. There's a couple down there. I'm gonna wait one more time. Yeah, usually I just come up here and then I go straight down, and there's a bunch of them. This time, for whatever reason, not seeing as many. Okay, let's come down now. There's a bunch. Cool. A couple up top. So what I do here is I look at them, or I hit them, whichever. I kill them, and I just do this. Yeah, I just look at them. They come up here, and then I hit them with my sword while they get really loud, and they drop a ton of ender pearls. This sword has what's called luck on it, which is a Tinker's Construct aspect, basically, and it adds an enhanced chance that they will drop a special item, in this case ender pearls. It's basically looting from vanilla Minecraft. Come on, come follow me. He's gonna follow me or not. Maybe. Now he will, or should. Okay. Ow! Should put some, maybe some half slabs up here so they can't get up here. Or maybe some water even? I don't know. Something so they can't get up top. But yeah, that's how I've been getting my ender pearls, and then of course when I want to go back, I can just do that. So that's all for today. Next time we will talk more about Applied Energistics, getting everything set up with quarries and the energy situation figured out, expanding the base a little bit more, getting to the point where I can start to head to the higher tiers of industrial craft, and then once we've got that all sorted out and the energy system all sorted out, we'll be able to move into the magic mods, which I'm really looking forward to. Ars Magica and Thaumcraft. I've really never used these mods before. I want to, but I feel like I need to get a mass fabricator up and running before I get there. So that's going to be on the to-do list. More big reactor stuff, more Applied Energistics, that sort of thing. So thank you for watching, and until next time then.